Again, we are in the oncoming lane fully. Then we got to make this real tight turn here, and we are frozen. Okay. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another Cybertruck FSD drive. Now, we finally got the update. I haven't had one in a while. We finally got update 12.5.5.2, but I wanted to check and see if some of the issues I was having with FSD on the Cybertruck had gotten any better. Mainly kind of turning too far into the oncoming traffic lanes. That was a big issue towards the beginning. Kind of drifting a little bit. Riding some lane lines as well is something I've definitely noticed with the Cybertruck. I think it's still kind of compensating for its size, but we'll just see if anything stands out. But let's go ahead and get started here. I really love shooting videos in the fall because everything is just so much more enjoyable to look at. We got some beautiful orange and yellow and slightly green, slightly red trees back here. Absolutely beautiful area. And it's not as hot. It's still pretty warm today, almost 80 degrees, but for the most part, it's a little bit cooler. Don't really need a turn signal here, but you do use Cybertruck. You let them know. So one thing I noticed right there, in past versions, the past version, it would kind of turn and the wheel would kind of, like it was not fully confident in the turn and was kind of like wiggling and adjusting. That was perfectly smooth. Not the sharpest turn ever, but pretty significant as far as angles go, and it didn't stutter the wheel at all. Just nice, easy, smooth curve there. Obviously, speed control has been an issue not only on the Cybertruck, but also on my Model 3 in all the recent versions of FSD. So really something to look out for. Right now, we're in a 35. I've got the auto speed offset turned on, and we're going 40, 42-ish. So not horrible on this back road area, but like I've said in the past, it tends to go way too fast when it that was a pretty aggressive brake there. It does tend to go too quick on slower roads and too slow on quicker roads. So one of those things. It's not a deal breaker, right? It doesn't like make it unusable. It's not necessarily unsafe in most cases. It just isn't as natural feeling. That's really the biggest issue with it. That braking was a lot better. Still a little harsh at the end, but not terrible at all on that one. Okay, well, there is a pretty strong example of what I was talking about. It turned basically into the left-hand turn lane, or into the right turn lane, but our left turn lane, all the way into that lane. Now, I'm guessing that if there were a car there, it wouldn't have done that. I don't know if it was giving itself more space. I don't know what that was. But again, that's one of those things. It went a little bit where I didn't notice it as much, but that was a pretty egregious example of it. Again, no car there, so no issue. But I would have liked to see a car there to see if it would have handled that differently. So came to a stop there. I almost took it over there, but I didn't because it still turned out into the oncoming lane. And it just doesn't, like, it's one thing to give yourself some more space and turn out into the oncoming lane and then correct yourself real quickly. But if you've got traffic coming right at you, like, you cannot linger in that lane. And it's just lingering in that lane just a little too long for comfort. And I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense. We've got clear markings on the road, no weather, everything should be clear. I've heard people say like recalibrate the cameras and stuff like that. Maybe. I feel like I'm not the only one that has this issue on the Cybertruck. My Model 3 does not do this. The Model Y that I've driven does not do this. It is Cybertruck specific. So something they really need to figure out. I don't know if it has to do with the steer-by-wire system being more sensitive or the size of the vehicle. I don't know, but it needs to get fixed because it's definitely on the unsafe side. All right, full stop here. Yeah, you can't do that. All right, I'm gonna mark that as a disengagement. So, I don't know. That was bad. that intersection, there's a stop sign for us, and then there's a train track, and it's raised up. You have to go up and over the hill and then come back down, but there's not a stop sign, obviously, because it's a train track. So the Cybertruck went ahead and went, and we had a person coming up and over the train track, and they don't have to stop, and we just kind of went right in front of them. So we'll call that a disengagement. That was not good. So tough intersection, but still, it should see that car coming, and it actually did. It stopped, but it's just awkward. All right, we've got a speed bump right here, and I'm actually going to go back the other way because I liked that little intersection. All right, got a new destination in there. So this is kind of a tough intersection. I can't see either way, really. All right, that was good. So it did the full stop, pulled out, stopped again, just so it could see, and then went right away without hesitation once there were no cars. So perfectly good behavior there. That's exactly what I would have done because I couldn't see on either side. Full screen here again. Full stop. Turn. Got a little pumpkin patch here. That was pretty aggressive braking there. Full stop and go. So this is a really weird intersection. Kind of have to come up here, and then they're stopping, so we should go. Yep. All right, the Cybertruck waited to see if they came to a full stop. Then we got to make this real tight turn here, and we are frozen. Okay. Well, again, that's kind of a weird one, but not that difficult, and it didn't do well there. So, all right, so we're back at that same intersection with the railroad track. Let's see if it handles it better this time. So full stop, gotta wait. Oh, nope, did it again. All right, well, that's 2 times at that intersection that have been bad. That car, one car was turning, and then the other car was going straight, and we just going right at them for no reason. I like how it kind of got out of the way of that guy that was working out of his car right there. I guess it's not putting on the turn signal for that. I guess it was putting on the turn signal for this. But that was really smooth, just getting out of the way seamlessly like that. This intersection right here is one of the toughest intersections for any person, let alone FSD, to do this. You have to go left. It's an unprotected left. There's 2 lanes on both sides, and there's not really much of a middle lane. It's there, but it's small. So let's see. Wow. Okay. That was better than... Wow, and it cut right across because it had to. I love that. And then all the way across to the turning lane. Very impressive. That was great. Good job, Cybertruck. I haven't tested that on my Model 3 in forever because I'm too stressed about it. But Cybertruck handled it great. And while we're just cruising here to our next destination, I wanted to give a huge shout out to YesLack for sending me some of their awesome Cybertruck accessories. I've got a little floor mat down there to help protect that tray. I've got rear liners for the cargo area as well as the underfloor storage in the bed. I've got a frunk liner. I've got some carpet protectors for under the rear seats, which are great because you can lift those things up and use that as just a flat floor, and it helps protect that carpet even better. So if you guys want to check out some of their Cybertruck accessories or any of the other Tesla accessories they have on their website, I'll have it linked down in the description, and you can use my code Metz Tech for 20% off. This turn up here is not fun. It's just a real tight angle, but it's not technically like a 90-degree angle. There's a slight curve to it, and even small cars don't do great. So let's see how the Cybertruck does. Again, we are in the oncoming lane fully. I don't know why it does that. It's got the radius for it. That's just not. What if there's a car? Would it do that if there was a car there and it knows there's not, so it's not doing it? I don't know. I pointed out at the beginning of the video, I wanted to see if some of the same issues were still here, and I actually think they're worse now. I wasn't having this many issues with the Cybertruck going into oncoming lanes the first time around on 12.5.5 as I'm having on 12.5.5.2. So I don't know. It needs some fine tuning for sure. It's gotten worse. Okay, there's a little bit of a wheel wiggle. Haven't seen that yet. That was the first time. So we've got oncoming traffic here. Man, feels like you're just taking up the entire lane. Sometimes I just watch this to see how much of the lane I really am in. All right, last destination for this video. That was, well, it did it. It squeezed between two cars and went over a speed bump. You know, I get a lot of comments in my videos saying like, I don't know how you do this. Like, it makes me so stressed. My palms get sweaty watching this. My anxiety goes through the roof. Like, how do you do this? Even if I have family members that even say that to me. And honestly, in my car, my Model 3, FSD does not make me nervous. In the Cybertruck, makes me a little nervous. Not like I think anything catastrophic is going to happen. It just feels like it's just not accounting for the size of the vehicle still, which is crazy because they've been training it for so long. I mean, it took a long time for it to come out on the Cybertruck. So they've been training this forever, and it just feels like it doesn't account for how large it is and where it tries to fit in between things. And I don't know. I don't think it's bad by any means, but as you can see throughout this video, there's just little things here and there. Again, I'm not doing anything. Like, I'm not intervening in any of these like little situations where it just does something a little bit too close or a little bit too slow, like this wide open intersection. But it's just kind of one of those things that like, I wish it would do this a little bit differently because it'd be more like how I drive. It's not necessarily that it's doing anything wrong per se, except for those few little interventions with the train track issue and whatever. It's just, you know, it just feels like it's not quite realizing how big it is. That's all. We got some kids hyping up the Cybertruck. They want a horn honk. Wish I had the cooler horn. Would have been more fun. Hopefully we get that in a software update. That thing sounds nasty. There are just so many Teslas in my area. Just drove past a Model Y, you come to a stop sign, Model S goes right past you. I was driving home from work the other day, and I was literally in a line, and there were 4 Teslas on my right, 3 Teslas on my left. Like, I live in Louisville, Kentucky. Like, you know, it's a decent sized city. It's I think a top 30 city population-wise, but it just, they're everywhere, man. It's not coastal. Obviously, we're kind of, you know, not dead center, but, you know, right center-ish. And they're just everywhere, man. Everywhere. All right, well, we're about 2 miles away from our destination. I feel like we've gotten a couple interesting interactions at least. Not a whole lot of city driving in this one, but I will be doing another city driving video here pretty soon. Hopefully we'll be getting FSD 12.5.6 point whatever on my Model 3 here soon. So we'll be able to check out end-to-end on the highway on my Model 3, since that is my daily driver. That'll be cool. But yeah, hopefully some city driving the next one. And I've got a couple videos coming out soon with some really great Tesla accessories for you guys to check out. So hit subscribe so you don't miss that. But if you did enjoy the video, drop a like. Let me know down in the comments below, what's your experience been with FSD 12.5.5.2? If If you had any of the same issues I've had, or has it been smooth sailing for you so far, I'd love to talk about it down in the comments. And of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to be among the first to see every single new video the second I hit publish. We'll see you in the next one.